word. Something special is going to happen tonight. Trust me.
So the Pelicans win the tip. And now the opening lineup for Boston. Hayward outside at the 3 with Morris to his side at the 4. Smart is out there with Kyrie Irving. And it's Horford in at the pivot spot, manning the middle.
And when you're open, Rondo finds you. Always has his head on a swivel.
Here's Irving. Good for the basket. Starting off 1 for 1 with that shot.
If you're going in amongst the trees, you have got to be aggressive.
Well, look, when you're giving up that type of height, you use your quickness. It's just that simple. And it's also a matter of skill.
Go. 11 feet away. Here's Horford, and the dunk by Horford.
You have got to box out Horford on the glass, given his size.
To the inside, and stolen by Horford. Hill against Hayward. Over Hill. It's stolen by Davis. And here's Morris for 3. A three-pointer is right on target.
Well, Kevin, it's impossible for the D to impact that type of shots if it's going to be that matchup. He's giving away too many inches.
Rondo kicks to Davis. Tipped away. Irving with the steal. In the corner, it's Hayward. Irving against Rondo. Kicks to Morris. Nice ball movement by Boston. Horford gets the bucket.
You know, you're going to have success when you can start out shooting 80% from the game. So early offensively, they've been great. That's the way you like to start.
Stolen by Smart. Here's Irving. And there's the whistle on the shot. Took the foul. Shot misses. He'll be shooting 2. And New Orleans gets called for the foul.
And with all the talk about Kyrie coming to Boston, you still have to figure how he'll fit in to the team. Has this year and next left on his contract, player option after that, but with his scoring and shooting should make this offense even more potent. And when you put a player of Kyrie's ability into this Boston system, you have to expect good things. Irving does so much for himself and others. The longer he plays with the team, I think the more comfortable he'll become.
Well, I know his father was a hooper, and I think that's why, we all love the skill set that Irving has. He's just a dynamic scorer. He's an impressive ball handler. Don't forget a clutch performer.
New Orleans shooting their first free throw of the game here.
And they were 75% from the line a season ago.
And that one falls for DeMarcus Cousins.
When you get the ball to Cousins, he's a workhorse. Really exerts so much energy in his offensive attack.
Irving dishes to Morris. Irving passes to Morris. He's looking for Horford and finds him. The shot, no good. Rondo with some nice D. Morris against Davis. Good work there as it goes.
If there's a list of the best inside scorers in the NBA, Davis has got to be right at the top. When he gets his hands on the ball down low, you might as well just count it.
Smart kicks to Horford. And stolen by Cousins. On its way from Clark for 2. Second chance shot. And Cousins with the lay-in. Cousins has got 7 points in the game.
Great hustle from Cousins there. He never stops working on that offensive glass.
So the Celtics called timeout. They're first.
And you look back to that Big 3 era in Boston. The Celtics have not been shy about aggressively trading to reshape this roster. They've made a rapid rebuild that's really the envy of a lot of teams around our league.
Boston making some changes. Aaron Baines, he's checked in for Horford. Brown comes in for Gordon Hayward. And it's Rozier in for Irving. Morris, left side, passes to Baines. The kick out to Brown from past the arc. Sinks the three-pointer. Brown's got himself on the board with 3 there. And as aggressive as the Celtics have been, Greg, they've also shown patience, haven't they?
Yeah, and in some ways, maybe a victim of their own success. You come out on the winning end of your trades time and again. Other GMs don't want to look bad. They get hesitant, possibly, and don't want to add their name to that list.
And it's Davis with the jam.
Just great anticipation and awareness to come up with the steal and then trigger the fast break.
And we're just over 3.5 minutes into the first quarter. Rozier kicks to Morris. Pass to Baines. Here's Rozier. Shoots the three. And again, Boston with the triple.
Yeah, they're relying. On their three-point shooting and getting pretty good results.
Outside, Davis. And Davis throws it down.
Yeah, just solid work on the back end of that play.
Yep, you're right. Finished hard with two hands on that stuff. Celtics leading by 3. And it's Baines in the corner. To the right side. There's the pass to Rozier. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. It's on DeMarcus Cousins.
And Rozier is outstanding at drawing fouls on these kinds of shots.
The Celtics shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw attempts of the game.
And last season, when they got themselves to the line, they usually came through as a team up around 81%.
And that one misses.
Oh, the fearlessness by Rozier. That's what helps him earn the trip to the stripe.
A platoon swap here for New Orleans. There's 45 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Crawford dishes to Ajinça. And the layup's good off the glass. Ajinça's got his first bucket in this one.
Nice job to get to the rack before the D could get any help in the post.
Bucket is good.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agenda.
And the jam by Ajinça.
And watch out, you don't bring the whole basket down on top of you, young fella.
I don't think he ever wanted to let go of the rim. Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. The Celtics working the ball around now. A 3 from Morris. Good, and Smart gets the assist. That's now 8 points for Marcus Morris.
Oh, nice look there from Smart, finding the open man.
And it goes down 2 points.
And guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with their work down low.
It's stolen by Ajinça. Holiday inside the line. Back to the action after this word. We caught up with Kyrie Irving earlier, and he talked a little bit about expectations for himself and his teammates.
We expect so much out of each other.
Kyrie reminding us that it's not just the expectations of the fans and the media, but also, perhaps the most demanding of all, are the expectations they've got for each other.
Oh, yeah. They're constantly trying to manage expectations while still demanding the best from one another. And I got to tell you, it's fun to watch.
Up to this point, a closely contested game as we start the second quarter. When you consider how the Celtics are doing, guys, what jumps out to you stats-wise?
They've gotten that perimeter game going in that first, and for me, that was the difference.
Well, and not only in terms of building the lead, but now the defense has to extend itself. That leads to other opportunities.
And a chance here presented by Gatorade to see who's on the floor, all fueled up and ready to go for the start of the second quarter. So the Pelican 5 right now. Holiday out there with Jordan Crawford. Then it's Cunningham. Then it's Alexis Ajinça. And it's Miller in at the 3, the small forward. And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, guys, the Pelicans do have their challenges, but Anthony Davis remains committed to winning in New Orleans. He said, "I love it here. I don't plan on leaving. I guess I fit into that old school category where I want to try to win where I start my career. That's always been a goal of mine. My goal is to bring a championship here." Kevin?
And David, loyalty does go a long way. Davis is a perfect guy to build your team around. He wants to win. Well, we know that some players can get pretty tricky out on the court, and that is the diplomatic way of saying it, Chris. Which players do you feel kind of take advantage sometimes of the rules?
Well, and I think, these are the guys that you would hate to play against, but you want to play with. And, first people that come to mind are the Draymond Greens, the Matt Barnes, Steven Adams, just because he's physical. Even Chris Paul, the way that he stays on the refs, the way that if you reach on him while he's trying to steal the ball, he'll grab your wrist and let you know don't do that again because it really hurts what he's doing to you. So there's so many players that do that, and the wiser, the smarter, the longer in the game that you play, the more of those tricks you'll be able to pull out, all those veteran tricks. So those guys come to mind.
It's good. And the Celtics lead by 7.
And as a wing player, Hayward's just so good at attacking the basket. I think that's a big part of what makes him special. Doesn't take much of an opening for Hayward to make his move.
Irving passes to Hayward. Tatum wide open. He fires one. That 3 off the mark. Got a piece of it and stolen by Horford. To the paint. Back to Brown. Irving with a clean look. The shot's good. Brown making the play. Irving's got 8 points.
I like how Irving feels the defense out. He's sensing he has room to shoot and fire once he gets the rock.
And Cousins throws it down.
Yeah, he just punched the ticket on that one. That'll get the job done.
Powerful two-hand jam. This is his second attempt at the line tonight. Smart's checked in for Brown. Well, a few things have become clear with Rondo in the past few seasons. 1, Greg, he needs to be happy with his situation in order to be productive. And 2, he can give you big numbers at times, but he isn't the player he once was on that Celtic team.
Yeah, and Rondo, he's such a hard-headed guy and has his own way of approaching things. If you clash with him, everything goes up in flames with his game. He needs to be on the same page with his coach, and he's running out of coaches who will put up with it.
Pelicans trail by 5. And Cousins kicks to Davis. Nice pass. Led him to the rack perfectly for the layup. 12 points for him.
Well, no matter what, he's always going to be one of the most dangerous men on the court.
And stolen by Cousins. And the call will be against Al Horford. That's his third foul of the game.
And that's the tough part of trying to keep him on the floor. Now he picks up that third foul.
Marcus Morris is checked in for the Celtics. And first time out of the game called for New Orleans. New Orleans making some changes here. Cunningham, he's checked in for Solomon Hill. Allen comes in for Ian Clark. And it's Holiday in for Rajon Rondo. And Holiday kicks to Cousins. And they double up Cousins. And Cousins throws it down.
Oh, when Cousins finds his comfort zone, it's incredibly hard for the defense to keep up with him.
Pass to Morris. Irving up top, guarded by Holiday. And the wide open shot from Morris. Good, and the assist goes to Irving. Morris has got 5 points in the quarter.
Again, yet another shot to build on his impressive first quarter.
Here's Cousins, and Cousins throws it down.
And Cousins is a big body who knows just how to back down the deep. When he has the room to throw it down, he does not hesitate for 1 second.
Now a timeout called by Boston. Aaron Baines, he's checked in for Boston. Rozier comes in for Irving. Here's Rozier. 1:07 left in the first half of basketball. Hayward outside. Feeds it to Morris. Pass to Rozier. Celtics passing it around. 5 on the clock. Here's Smart. Boston again missing.
Jeez. Maybe he was trying to show off or something right there.
Yeah, didn't it seem like it just a pretty thoughtless play on his part? All style, no substance. Coming out of the gates confident. He's been amazing this quarter, but plenty of game left to go.
Here's Hayward. That one wide left.
He can hit that fadeaway shot, but with the D on him, you can't blame him for attempting that shot.
Davis. Here's Cousins, and Cousins throws it down.
And that's an example of willpower right there, guys. I mean, grabbing the offensive rebound and then going back up strong.
And GA, in a close game like this where every possession is critical, that could prove to be a very big one.
And guys, they're showing great instincts too, anticipating how the ball was going to come off the boards and timed it out perfectly.
DeMarcus Cousins, he's been the guy making things happen for the New Orleans Pelicans. He finishes with 9 points in the quarter. The D is having all sorts of problems with him. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks, Kevin. Kyrie, they got...
Thanks so much, Dave, for the great interview. Don't go away, folks. We'll be back for the second half of basketball right after this.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
It is a good game we have here after one half of play. Everybody, welcome back for our halftime show. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kenny Smith. DeMarcus Cousins having an outstanding game. He had 16 points, 2 steals, and 1 assist. After a subpar performance in their previous contest, he has come on strong tonight. His first half, sensational. Kenny, your thoughts? How the Pelicans are playing?
You can see where the priorities are. Rebounding, and then more rebounding. They made a concerted effort to get the glass clean.
And Shaq, what are your thoughts on Boston?
Their defense has been practically non-existent. Sure, they're facing a team that got hot. You could even say a bit lucky at times, but no one is stepping up on D and taking anything away. Have some pride. Don't let a guy shoot like that in your face.
That's it for halftime.
The third quarter now beginning. Both sides looking to pull away in the last half of the game. Boston trailing. Second half underway. Here's who Brad Stevens got on the floor. Morris is the 4 with Horford in the middle. Irving is out there with Smart. And it's Hayward in at the 3.
Did you see that? How committed Irving is. Once he's in the paint, he's looking to score.
And Al Horford, a cornerstone player. Chris, he's that straw that certainly stirs the drink.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, you know he's a winner. I mean, anybody can remember his career from his days at the University of Florida where he won a championship.
And Kyrie Irving again. Irving's got 4 this quarter.
And I love the momentum he's building. Last game, he was just as dominant.
And defensively, you know he's feeling good right now. And as the opposing team, you better adjust your scheme accordingly.
Celtics on D. The lead is 2. The kick out to Hill. Back to Cousins. Over Horford. And no good. Now the Celtics take it the other way. Here's Irving. Makes it off the glass. Irving's got 14.
And when they've gone to him, he has come through big time. You got to keep getting him touches.
Now a timeout called by New Orleans.
And Gordon Hayward has increased his scoring average every season he's been in the league. And couple that last year also a career high in offensive efficiency. The guy is just a budding superstar.
Alexis Ajinça has checked in for the Pelicans. Darius Miller comes in for Davis. About 1 minute played here in the second half. And Gordon Hayward has worked on his strength, but also his balance, adding boxing, Greg, as you were talking about, to his off-season training.
Yeah, great point. I mean, the strength, the balance, and footwork make him a great slasher. This guy gets in the lane and just has a knack for working himself to the foul line.
Dishes it to Smart. He feeds it to Morris. Good, and Smart gets the assist. Smart's got 3 assists in the game.
Terrific use of the catch-and-shoot jumper from Morris, catching the D flat-footed and torching them as a result.
Here's Ajinça, and the jam by Ajinça.
Oh, just solid on the one-handed slam.
And guys, when it's a tight ball game like this, he's the guy they want with the ball.
Wow, 5 straight buckets coming out of half. They are rolling.
Pelicans trail by 5. And here's Hill for 3. It doesn't go for him. Irving dishes to Morris. Terrific assist, a nice finish. Solid play all around.
And Morris just scores from everywhere, Kevin. Down low, from the mid-range, outside. It's just awesome offensive talent.
On the wing, Miller. Beyond the arc. Good on the triple. And Chris, as your career progressed, your free throw shooting percentage jumped up about 20 points higher than when you started. That's not the case for a lot of players. Just how hard is it for a big man to improve their free throw shooting throughout their career?
Okay, that's probably one of the things I'm proudest of, is that I have the record for going from worst to that best improvement. And I worked out hard. I had a shooting coach, Buzz. We worked out every summer. I would take him everywhere with me, Kev. I mean,
really?
I would take this guy to the club, to church, to a restaurant, to, he'd have to wait outside the bathroom. Everywhere I went that summer, I wanted him, with me, because you have to focus and concentrate on it. You think about it, you have to change not only your mental habits, your repetition, but your thought process. So step 1 is the figuring out that shot. Step 2 is how many repetitions. Step 3 is can you get that in game time atmosphere. You really can't unless you punish yourself in the summer with running. So if you have to do a suicide every one you miss, or it just was so much work and intensity on it, because you have to build up so much trust, because reason why guys shoot bad free throws, they don't trust it. They shoot a different way every time. And it was fun becoming better at that, but, you know, that's probably one of the toughest things I've ever done is get better at shooting free throws because the concentration and the time allowed it to try to improve.
Some changes for New Orleans. Dante Cunningham's checked in for Solomon Hill. Jordan Crawford comes in for Ian Clark. And it's Drew Holiday in for Rajon Rondo. So Boston going with almost an entire new group. Aaron Baines, he's checked in for Horford. Tatum comes in for Marcus Morris. Brown, he's checked in for Marcus Smart. And it's Rozier in for Irving. He was all alone on that one.
Timeout.
And the Celtics lead by 6.
Yeah, you got to admire his instincts offensively. Tatum does a great job of shooting it in rhythm off the pass.
Now a timeout called by New Orleans. And as the coaches go to the clipboard to outline their strategy during the timeout, the players getting a chance to rehydrate with some Gatorade. That's key to staying fresh all the way to the final whistle.
And Kevin, it really is. And every one of these players knows it. They're all making sure to stay hydrated. It's impossible to play your A game if you're not getting enough to drink, especially towards the end of games when the physical toll of a long contest really starts to add up.
DeMarcus Cousins is checked in for New Orleans. Davis comes in for Dante Cunningham. So Boston going with almost an entire new group here. Al Horford, he's checked in for Aaron Baines. Marcus Morris comes in for Tatum. Smart's checked in for Jaylen Brown. And Irving subbed in for Rozier. And both free throws good for Davis.
His free throw ability makes him tough to defend in the post. Teams can't get too physical with him.
A shot by Hayward, wide open, good, and Smart gets the assist. And it's 9 points for Gordon Hayward.
Well, and the Celtics bringing in Brad Stevens as head coach in 2013. That same summer, they made their blockbuster trade with the Nets. 2 home run moves for their franchise.
It's stolen by Davis. He dishes it to Cousins. Falls right in. He is 8 for 11 with that shot.
They are just killing him on the interior.
Irving kicks to Horford. Basket is good, and he'll get a chance for one more at the free throw line.
The focus from Horford, I mean, just shrugging off the foul for the and-one finish. I mean, Al Horford has a complete game. He can hit a big shot. He can get a defensive stop. I mean, even setting a great screen. And let's not forget about his passing. He does it all.
And you think about Al Horford setting screens, Chris, he can pick and roll, but he can also pick and pop.
Well, what I like about that, and for those basketball nerds like myself, what that means is he can facilitate. So he's a threat. If he sets the pick, he can go to the hole and finish. But as a defender, you have to be careful because you just can't anticipate that he can step back and knock down the jump shot. And if he's good at that, what about when he steps back, pump fakes, gives you a hands up, spins, and dunks on you? That's what they're talking about.
And that one's good by Davis.
They're consistently finding ways to get the ball inside and taking full advantage.
The dish to Smart. Hayward against Miller. Puts it up from 12. The shot's good from Gordon Hayward. Hayward's got 9 points here in the second half.
A quick trigger. And from that range, if he senses the defenders have backed off, forget about it.
Cousins, no good.
Thought he was going to be able to take advantage of the D there. He had the space.
And Hayward with the stuff.
That's just outstanding awareness from Irving right there. Remarkable at finding his guys when they're wide open.
And so it's the Boston Celtics holding on to an 8-point lead heading into the break. They're feeling very confident, shooting the ball with great efficiency and dictating the pace. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Let's take a listen now to Alvin Gentry.
Guys, we got to be more solid, okay? We got to be more solid defensively.
3 quarters in the books, folks. Glad to have you with us. Welcome back as we get going. Pelicans trail by 8. The star big men pair of Davis and Cousins are up front. Jordan Crawford out there with Holiday, and it's Miller in at the 3 spot. So that's the group out there for New Orleans.
Oh, really? Cousins is so big and strong that you really have to whack him to prevent him from scoring. He welcomes contact with open arms and one.
Morris with the bucket.
Still attacking, building on this lead coming down the stretch.
Well, what I like about it most is he's doing it efficiently.
Timeout called here. The Pelicans decide to talk it over.
And just think about this. Kyrie Irving in the single season at Duke, he only played 11 games. He was limited to 11 games. Still, he was the #1 overall pick. That's just a game. And then he justified it winning Rookie of the Year. Incredible.
Catching up on the changes for New Orleans. Solomon Hill is checked in for Darius Miller. Ian Clark comes in for Jordan Crawford. Rajon Rondo is subbed in for Drew Holiday. All right, let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, I was able to listen in on what Alvin Gentry said to his team. He was not happy with their defensive performance. He said they're getting everything they want. We've got to show them we can't let that happen. You have to make a stand. You have to get some stops, and that'll get us going on a run. Guys?
And Hayward gets it to go on the assist by Morris.
Timeout.
Hayward's got 5 points now in the quarter.
Start it.
And Kyrie Irving with a historically great rookie campaign, but some have said he hasn't improved a whole lot on that big entrance into the NBA.
His defense is still a work in progress, and that's what he has to shore up if he's going to enter the conversation for maybe best point guard in the world. But to me, he's already in that conversation.
Nice game, great performance by Marcus Morris.
They got to start guarding him out to about 28 feet because he's killing from long range.
New Orleans making some changes here. Miller comes in for Hill, and Tony Allen subbed in for Ian Clark. A little over a minute of the fourth quarter gone right now. Rondo against Irving. Davis up top, down low. Here's Cousins, and then Cousins with the dunk.
Yeah, he just punched the ticket on that one. That'll get the job done.
Powerful two-hand jam. Celtics leading by 11. Irving passes to Horford. Morris dishes to Horford. And the Celtics hit again from deep.
Oh, great ball movement there.
The Pelicans have gone 2 of 3 from the field to get the fourth quarter started. Rondo kicks to Davis. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. And Chris, we know you are always trying to connect with our fans over social media. We have a question for you sent in by a viewer who asks, Chris, if you weren't a basketball player, what other profession do you think you may have pursued?
Wow. Well, I used to want to be a wrestler and and other guys like that. But no, my mother was a teacher, and I always was with her in school. And I think, I love kids and hanging around kids. So it would definitely be something where I'm instructing kids. I don't know if it would be school or if it would be a gym teacher or if it would be working with kids in some type of way. But I definitely would want to work with kids.
I can see you as a teacher. Like if you were a wrestler, like what would your name be? Like would you be like the Flash?
Yeah. Oh man,
like, what name
it
would
was
you
some terrible
have?
names back there. Junkyard Dog, Coco Beware, Ultimate Warrior, Superfly Slicker. I know I gave my name back. I gave myself a name back in there. I don't know. I'd have to figure out first what my persona was. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I don't know. I have to think about that one. But I'm too skinny, man. I only got broken up in that ring. I know that for sure. So I think I made the right decision.
One made 3 for him for the game. Does he focus closer in? Let's see.
Here's Cousins, rebounded by the Celtics.
Yeah, you won't see him miss many dunks unless you've got somebody right in his face, as was the case there on that possession.
Morris passes to Irving. Morris a screen. Just 5 to shoot. And Davis sends it back.
He's got that huge wingspan, and boy, does he use it well on the defensive end. If Davis is within shouting distance of the shooter, there's a good chance he'll get a hand on it.
He lives for these type of battles on the boards. It doesn't matter which end of the floor it is either.
We're in the final quarter of play here. 3 minutes in. Irving dishes to Smart. Morris with a screen on run. Rondo against Irving. Again, Irving missing.
Not quite airtight defense right there, but his release was a little bit off on the jump.
And stolen by Horford. On the wing, Morris. The second chance effort. Sweet move. Horford, no luck.
That defense is as good as a block. I mean, what looks to be a layup turns into nothing.
Pelicans trail by 10, and the call will be against Al Horford. That's his 5th foul. Now a timeout called by New Orleans. They trail by 10. 1:25 left in the 4th. And now let's present our Jordan Player of the Game, Marcus Morris.
He's put on a shooting exhibition for us here tonight. He's missed a couple along the way, but it sure seems like everything's been falling for him. The only way to keep him from converting is to keep the ball out of his hands.
Teams need contributions from everybody to win on the road, not just the stars. And he's done more than his share tonight. An outstanding performance. Some changes for New Orleans. Hill, he's checked in for Miller. And it's Drew Holiday in for Rajon Rondo. And a little over 3.5 minutes in the books so far here in the 4th. Davis. And that one comes up a bit short. Boston leading by 10. Morris with the ball. And Holiday picks him up defensively. Again, the miss by the Celtics. New Orleans now, time running out, and here they go, and it's sent back by Horford.
Oh, the way Horford positions himself as the shot goes up. I mean, his defensive instincts are just absolutely fantastic.
And that's the shot you want to create. They just can't get it to fall.
That just shows you can do everything right sometimes, but still get the wrong result.
Now here's Smart, defended by Allen. Morris with the screen for Irving. Back to Smart. The feed now to Morris. He kicks it to Horford. Shot to end this cold run. They get it again. Brown the pass to Irving. Second shot opportunity, and the shot is good. And the Celtics lead by 12.
Yeah, with this lead, that's probably going to do it. Fans heading for the exit.
Wow, this is just a huge road win. These guys banded together. Just an awesome performance.
Kicks it to Smart. Back to Irving. And the rejection by Cousins.
And one of the things Cousins has continued to develop is defense. Really makes an effort to swat that shot away.
And so it's Boston easily grabbing this one. This was a very strong showing for him, Greg. Not necessarily a runaway win, but one they'll feel very good about.
And let's face it, anytime you can go on the road and win in the fashion they did, you have to feel good about it. Really an outstanding effort all the way around.
It's time. Thank you, David. Great interview once again. For Greg Anthony, Chris Webber, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. So long.
Give them whatever they ask for. I let them fly like I'm taking these passports. And it's not hitting the backboard.